Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain the second part of lesson number 16, Economic Liberalization and Globalization. The points to be discussed today are globalization, its a meaning, advantages and disadvantages. World Trade Organization, its objectives, its functions and impact of a global World Trade Organization on Indian economy. Globalization. What is meant by globalization? Globalization is the process of connecting one country's economy with the world economy. That means that to establish trade relations with the other countries of the world. India is trying to establish a trade relation with America. America is trying to establish a trade relation with India. That is a globalization. Process of connecting the economy of a country with the other countries of the world is called a globalization. Because of a globalization, there is a free flow of goods and services, technology and labor. So that when India is establishing trade relation with America, that India's goods and services we are exchanging to America. America is exchanging its goods and services to India. Technology also, there is that a free flow of exchange of technology with India, and India is exchanging its technology to America. America is exchanging its technology to India. And labor means a manpower. People are free to move from one country to another in search of jobs. That is, earlier many restrictions were there. Now we know there is an attraction for people to settle in foreign countries. Due to globalization, now they can easily do so. They can search employment in other countries. We know large number of Indians are now settled in foreign countries because of a globalization. Earlier there were many restrictions were there. Now all those restrictions were removed or cancelled due to globalization. So what is meant by globalization? Process of connecting the economy of a country with the other countries of the world is called globalization. As a result of, there is a free flow of goods and services, technology and labor. Then what are the reforms related with the globalization? What are the changes related with the globalization? What measures have been undertaken to facilitate globalization? So what are the steps taken to encourage a globalization? Write down this question in your textbook. Obstacles of trade between two nations have been removed. Earlier, trade between two nations, so many difficulties were there. Now they all have been removed. Restrictions on import and export have been removed to promote international trade. So that earlier many restrictions were there in the import and export of things. Now they all have been removed. Restrictions on import and export have been removed to promote international trade. Second one is that such a condition have been created so that a capital exchange can take place between two nations. Then restrictions on transfer of exchange of a capital from one country to another have been removed. So earlier there were great difficulties in exchanging the capital from one country to another. Now such restrictions have been removed due to globalization. Restrictions on exchange or transfer of a capital from one country to another have been removed. Third one is that obstacles in the way of technology have been removed. So restrictions on transfer of technology from one country to another have been removed due to globalization. Last one, free exchange of labor may be there among different nations of the world. We know movement of labor across the globe have been provided. So people are moving from one country to another in search of jobs. That is possible because of a globalization. So what are the objectives? Obstacles of trade between two nations have been removed. Restrictions on import and export have been removed to promote international trade. Second one is that restrictions on exchange of a capital from one country to another country have been removed. Third one, restrictions on exchange or transfer of a technology from one country to another have been removed. Last one, fourth one, free exchange of labor across the globe has been provided. Any person can go and settle in any part of the world, any countries of the world, due to globalization. So what is meant by globalization? Process of connecting the economy of a country with the other countries of the world. What is the result? As a result, there is a free flow of goods and services, free exchange of goods and services, technology and labor in the world. So countries of the world, they are freely now exchanging goods and services, technology and labor. So what is meant by globalization? Process of connecting one country's economy with the world economy. What is the result? As a result, there is a free exchange or transfer of goods and services, technology and labor from one country to another country. What are the reforms related with the globalization, or what measures have been undertaken to facilitate a globalization? First one, obstacles of trade between two nations have been removed. Restrictions on import and export have been removed in order to encourage international trade. Second one, such a condition has been created so that a capital exchange can take place between two nations. Restrictions on exchange or transfer of a capital from one country to another have been removed. Third one, obstacles in the way of technology have been removed. Means restrictions on exchange of or transfer of technology from one country to another have been removed. Last one, free exchange of labor may be there among different nations of the world. We know large number of Indians are settling in other countries of the world. And a large number of people from other countries are also settling in India. What is the reason for that? Globalization. Earlier, there were many restrictions were there. Now all those restrictions were removed. Then effects of a globalization. So globalization has been implemented in India in 1991. So it has both advantages and disadvantages. It has both benefits and limitations. First one, explain the advantages or benefits of a globalization. First one, foreign direct investment is encouraged due to globalization. Foreign direct investment means if any foreigner wanted to establish their industries in India, they can directly invest their capital in India without any difficulties. If any Indian wanted to establish their factories in America, they can invest their capital without any difficulties. That is called a foreign direct investment is encouraged due to globalization. Now we know in India, so many American companies are there, German companies are there. How it happened? Because of a foreign direct investment. So due to globalization, that a foreign direct investment is encouraged. Any person can establish their establish their industries in other countries with a direct investment. Second one is that goods produced in the developed countries can easily obtained due to globalization. So that goods which quality goods are produced in developed countries, it is easily available in that developing countries due to globalization. That developed countries, they are always producing that good quality of a goods, so they are easily available. In India also we can see that goods are produced in America, England, etc. can easily available because of this globalization. Then third one, developing countries like India can withstand a competition at the international level due to globalization. We know that at international level, that developed countries are selling their things. At the same time, developing countries are also selling their things. So in order to sell the goods of developing countries, they have to improve the quality of goods. So now India can, means developing countries like India can withstand a competition at international level. How? Because India had improved the quality of goods and selling the goods at a reasonable prices. So that capability has been built up to withstand a competition at an international level. So what are the advantages? First one, foreign direct investment is encouraged due to globalization. Second one is that goods produced in developed countries can be easily available due to globalization. So in India, we can get goods produced in developed countries like America, England, France, etc. easily because of a globalization. So they are producing good quality of goods. Then third one, developing countries like India can withstand a competition at an international level due to globalization. India improved the quality of goods and selling the goods at a reasonable prices. So India can also withstand a competition at an international level due to globalization. Then what are the disadvantages or limitations of that globalization? First one is that there is an increase in poverty and unemployment. So we know that foreigners, they are ready to establish industries in India, but they are interested in establishing industries in those places where infrastructural facilities are available. Infrastructural facilities are available in that big cities, metropolitan cities, like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, etc. But in majority of Indians, they are living in the villages and they are not establishing industries in those villages. Establishing industries increase that job opportunity, but we know that a majority of the people in villages they are doing agriculture, and agriculture provides employment only during the rainy season, and the remaining period they are remaining unemployed. So in order to remove that unemployment, we have to establish industries, but majority of these industries where they are established in that big cities. So so it did not reduce that poverty and unemployment in the villages. So there is that is the first disadvantage. There is an increase in poverty and unemployment. Second one is that developing countries have not acquired proper benefits of increase in export. We have seen because of globalization, export has increased, but India did not get that expected benefit. That is the second one. Third one is that large scale industries have acquired more benefit. So this globalization gave encouragement to that large scale industries, heavy industries, iron and steel industry, aluminium, etc. They are the large scale industries, but it did not give any benefit to small scale industries. Small scale industries means industries which make use of less machines. So that foreign countries, they are interested in establishing large scale industries and not small scale industries. So large scale industries, they are making use of less people and a large number of machines. And the small scale industries, they are making use of a large number of laborers but less machines. That is why that this globalization did not give any benefit to large scale industries, but the large scale industries give benefit to large scale industries but did not give any benefit to small scale industries. So what are the disadvantages or limitations of globalization? There is an increase in poverty and unemployment. Poverty and unemployment of India could not be solved due to globalization. Second one is that developing countries did not get the benefit of increase in export. Third one is that which industries got the benefit? Large scale industries got the benefit, while the small scale industries did not get any benefit. So what is meant by globalization? Connecting the economy of a country with other countries of the world is called globalization. That means the countries of the world, they should connect with each other in terms of a trade to establish a trade with other countries of the world. That is called a globalization. As a result of this, there is a free flow of free exchange of goods and services, technology and labor with between the countries of the world. What are the improvements taken place due to reforms taken place due to globalization? First one is that obstacles of trade between two nations have been removed. Second one is that restrictions on transfer of capital from one country to another have been removed. Third one, restrictions on exchange of technology from one country to another have been removed. Last one, free exchange of labor may be there among different nations of the world. Then what are the effect of globalization? globalization has both advantages and the disadvantages. What are the advantages? First one is there is a considerable increase in foreign trade, foreign direct investment. I told you, it means a foreign direct investment has increased due to globalization. So what is the first advantage? There is a considerable increase in foreign direct investment. Second one is that goods are produced in developed countries are easily available due to globalization. Third one is that developing countries like India can withstand a competition at international level due to globalization. Then what are the disadvantages? There is a increase in poverty and unemployment. Second one, developing countries have not acquired proper benefits of increase in export, which they should have acquired. So developing countries, their export has increased, but it did not get a proper benefit. Third one is that large scale industries got more benefit, while small scale industries got a less benefit. Then World Trade Organization, in order to ensure that international trade should be fair, transparent, and smooth. An organization has been established, that is the World Trade Organization, and it was established on 1st January 1995. Who established the World Trade Organization? The member nations of the United Nations. Where is its headquarters? Its headquarters is at Geneva in Switzerland. So when was the World Trade Organization established? 1st January 1995. Who established that? It was established by the member nations of the United Nations. Where is its headquarters? Its headquarters is at Geneva in Switzerland. What are the objectives of a World Trade Organization? Write down in your textbook. What are the aims or purpose of establishing this World Trade Organization? First one is that to remove the obstacles influencing global trading. So to remove that difficulties in that international trade, that import and export problem is there. To remove that means problems. To remove the difficulties influencing global trading, foreign trade or international trade. Second one is that to remove protection policy given to industries of country for foreign trade. That means to overcome the protection given to domestic industry, to facilitate a global trade, to encourage a global trade. So to give a protection policy given to that industries of country, that means a domestic industry for foreign trade. That when India got independence, India did not give encouragement to foreign trade, because when India is encouraging foreign trade, then domestic products would not be sold out. So to remove that, for the time being it is okay, but in the long run it will affect that economy. So to see that for the development of a country, for the economic development of a country, it is favorable that a country should have a international trade or foreign trade. So it is one of the objective of a World Trade Organization, to remove that protection given to domestic industry. Then third one, to coordinate with the global trade policy and economic policy. Each and every country has its own economic policy. To connect that policy of that country with the global trade, international trade policy. That is the third one. Fourth one is to solve the trade-related disputes arising in the world. If any problems arises related to trade, that World Trade Organization is trying to solve it. So to solve international trade-related disputes, fighting between the nations. So what are the objectives? To remove the obstacles, difficulties affecting that international trade. Then second one is that to remove protection policy given to industries of country for foreign trade. That means to overcome the protection given to domestic industry, to encourage a foreign trade. Then third one, to cooperate with that global trade policy and economic policy. Each and every country has its own economic policy. They should be cooperated with the global trade policy, international trade policy. Then last one, to solve the disputes related to trade in the world. Any problems arises to resolve international trade related disputes. So when was the World Trade Organization established? 1st January 1995. Who established that World Trade Organization? It was established by the member nations of United Nations. Where is its headquarters? Its headquarters is located at Geneva in Switzerland. What are the objectives? First one, to remove the obstacles, difficulties affecting international trade. Second one, to remove protection policy given to industries of foreign trade. So to remove that protection given to domestic industry. Second one, to coordinate with the global trade policy and economic policy. Each and every country has its own economic policy to cooperate with the international trade policy. Then fourth one is that to solve the trade related disputes arising in the world. That to resolve international trade related disputes fighting. Then functions of World Trade Organization. What are the activities of this World Trade Organization? That first one, in order to achieve its objectives, we have seen the objectives. In order to achieve its objectives, what are the activities of this World Trade Organization? Write down this question in your textbook. What are the functions of World Trade Organization, or what are the steps taken to realize the objectives of World Trade Organization? First one is that an international body has been set up to implement international agreements related to trade. So first one is that to set up a required structure for implementation of in agreement related to multinational trade and agreement related to it. So an international, to set up an international body to implement the international agreements related to trade. Second one is that World Trade Organization plays a vital role for debate and negotiation for multinational trade. So it serves as a forum for regulating international trade. If any problems arises between the nations regarding the trade, then it is trying to solve the problem through debates and negotiation. Negotiation means making both the countries to sit together and solve the problems through peaceful discussions. That is a negotiation. So how it is solving the problems between the nations through debates and negotiations. Then third one is that World Trade Organization encourages unbiased international trade. So it is encouraging, promoting that unbiased, discrimination free trade, that not showing any partiality to any country, that it encourages a discrimination free international trade. Then last one, different nations follow their own national policy. It observes them and suggests required improvements. So different nations, they are forming their own national policy. So during their formation, this World Trade Organization, it is seeing that, and if any that mistakes are done, then it is trying to solve the problems by giving them suggestions. If any improvement or any rectification is required, it is giving them suggestions. So different nations, they have their own national policies. So it is observing that policies and trying to give them suggestions. So it is observing domestic trade policies of the member state and suggest required improvements therein. So what is the first function? An international body has been set up to implement international agreements related to trade. That is to set up a required structure for implementation of an agreement related to multinational trade and agreement related to it. Second one, World Trade Organization plays a vital role. Vital role means a very important role for debate and negotiation for multinational trade. So it is trying as a forum for regulating international trade. It is trying to solve the trade related problems between the nations through debates and negotiations. Third one, it encourages unbiased international trade. Unbiased means a discrimination free that international trade, not to show any partiality to any of the nations. Last one, different nations have their own national policy. It is observing them and giving them suggestions for required improvements. So different nations follow their own national policy to observe them and suggest required improvements. And what are the impact of a World Trade Organization on that Indian economy? India is a member of this World Trade Organization since its inception. So we know that World Trade Organization, when it was established on 1st January 1995. So since then, India is a member of this World Trade Organization. So what are the advantages that India has derived by joining the World Trade Organization? First one is that India's export has increased from 0.5% to 1%. So, what is the first advantage? India's share in the world trade has increased from 0.5 to that 1%. Second one, being a member of World Trade Organization, export of ready-made clothes of our country has increased. So, second one is that India's export of ready-made clothes has increased. So first one is that India's export has increased from 0.5% to 1%. Second one is that India's export of ready-made clothes has increased. Third one is that as a member of WTO, India has been able to increase export of its agro products. Third one is that India's export of agro products has increased. So first one, India's export has increased from 0.5% to 1%. Second one is that India's export of ready-made clothes, ready-made garments has increased. Third one, India's export of agro products has increased. Last one is that due to increase in export, pressure on import has reduced. We know that India's export has increased, so the pressure of on import has decreased. And because of increase in export, foreign exchange has increased and foreign investment has also increased. So what are the advantages? India's export has increased from 0.5% to 1%. Second one is that India's export of ready-made clothes has increased. Third one, India's export of agro products has increased. Fourth one, India's because of increase in export, foreign exchange has increased and foreign investment also has increased. So when was the World Trade Organization established? 1st January 1995. Who established the World Trade Organization? Member nations of the United Nations. Then where is its headquarters? It is located at Geneva in Switzerland. What are the objectives? To remove obstacles influencing global trading. Second one, to remove protection policy given to industries of country for foreign trade. Third one, to coordinate with the global trade policy and economic policy. Fourth one, to solve the trade related disputes arising in the world. What are its function? An international body has been set up to implement international agreements related to trade. Second one is that it plays an important role for debate and negotiation for multinational trade. Third one, World Trade Organization encourages unbiased or discrimination-free international trade. Fourth one, WTO observes domestic trade policies of the member state and suggests required improvements therein. Different nations follow their own national policy, it observes them and suggests required improvements. Then what are the impacts of the World Trade Organization on Indian economy? What are the advantages that India has derived by joining the World Trade Organization? India's export has increased from 0.5% to 1%. India's export of ready-made garments has increased. India's export of agro products has increased. That India's export has increased. As a result, there has been an increase in foreign exchange and foreign investment.